Dear future officers, welcome to Phoenix IAS by Nitin Shrivas, India's only IAS coaching platform which shows the source of UPSC conducted MCQs in its notes. So here we are, less than 24 hours away from your prelims. Tomorrow at 9:30 a.m. you will be writing your most important paper for which you have prepared for almost a year. And this is the time to deliver, but at the same time you must be going through lots of emotions and feelings, for example like self-doubt, anxiety, determination, and excitement, pressure of expectation of your own, of your parents, of your peers, of your friends, and your relatives, your society where you live. So you should not worry about these things right now. Your focus must be on performing and giving your best tomorrow in both the papers, not only first paper but both the papers. Otherwise you won't get a chance to write your mains. So without wasting much of our time, let's begin talking about the strategies which I have framed in my mind, because I don't want to extract your crucial time at this moment. I want to share few insights of mine which can help you out in those 4 hours. Otherwise some of you might face difficulties in solving the paper, which question to leave or which question not to leave, which question to attempt. So to talk about these things, I am here and I will be discussing my insights, my wisdom, my experiences. Okay, so let's begin. Now I am going to demonstrate all of you that how you should select the questions in 3 categories: easy and difficult, and the middle one which you are going to attempt in your second round, it is the byproduct of your 2 categories. Okay, so the first category is easier ones. For example, let's take this question particular. I am taking the 2024 paper of prelims, okay, for your kind information. So this is the first question. The first question says that the atmosphere is heated more by incoming solar radiation than by terrestrial radiation. Okay, so this particular statement is wrong, okay, because it is more heated by the terrestrial radiation. So wherever statement 1 is given as correct, you have to just eliminate that option from your options. Okay, so here it is given in the option 1 is correct as correct. In option B also it is given as correct. Okay, and in C also it is given as correct. So your automatically answer will be D. So D is your answer. So this question should come in your easy category. Now let's jump to this particular question. For example, thickness of the atmosphere at the equator is much greater as compared to poles. Okay, and statement 2 is at the equator heat is transported to great heights by strong convection currents. If both the statements are correct and statement 2 explains statement 1, then your answer is A. So this also will come in your easy category. Okay, now imagine that you don't know this particular question's option. Consider the following: pyroclastic debris, ash and dust, nitrogen compound, and sulfur compounds. How many of the above are products of volcanic eruption? Now imagine that if you don't know the correct answer for this and you don't have any idea about it, so you can categorize this particular question as D, or like this, that I am not going to attempt this question in any condition if I don't know anything about this. So this particular question might come in this category that you are not going to attempt it. Okay, so here is E, here is D, and now imagine that this particular question, which of the following are correct inferences from isothermal maps in the month of January? The isotherms deviate to the north over the ocean and to the south over the continent. Now if you know about this particular statement, whether it is correct or not, and you are confused about statement 2, then you can leave this particular question for your second round, so that you can deliberate, you can decide which option you should mark it for your benefit. Okay, so this will come in your moderate, but you don't need to mark it as like that. Okay, we are going to do only 2 categories, easy and difficult. The remaining ones will be your the moderate kind of questions which you are going to attempt in your second round. But the D aspect or the D kind of or difficult kind of questions you are not supposed to attempt, because these are the questions which increase your negative marking. So you have to avoid such errors in your paper while solving the paper. You should not attempt this kind of questions which are extremely difficult or difficult category kind of questions. Okay, and my next suggestion would be that don't take your chances in history related questions about which you have zero idea. For example, the questions of ancient history, the question of medieval history, usually aspirants get confused or demoralized after observing the question of these two themes of prelims. So it's my humble suggestion that do not take your chances in these subjects. You have other subjects where you can take your chances, for example in polity and economy based on some logic, but history is all about facts. If you know it, you know it. If you don't know it, then do not attempt it, because you can't put a logic behind history MCQs. Okay, so be very vigilant, be very strict related, be very vigilant and strict in attempting the questions of history. Do not take your chances in history. Okay, now we will move to the next aspect of your suggestions. Do not worry that you will have less amount of time to attempt these questions, whether it is paper 1 or paper 2, because you are not going to attempt all the 100 questions in paper 1 or 80 questions in paper 2. Basically you will have to attempt 75 around or 80 around questions, because 20 questions in your or 25 questions depending on the difficulty level of the paper will be such a kind of question that you are not going to attempt it, because those are very difficult kind of questions. So don't take your chances in those 20 odd question or 25 odd question about which you have no idea at all, because those are the question which will diminish your score by increasing your negative marking. So you should avoid your negative marking by preserving your marks of your correct answers of your easy and moderate level of questions. Don't give away those marks by doing the blind guess work, because that can prove very fatal to you and that can cost you your another year to write your mains. So do not attempt such things. Don't go behind or don't go by your gut instinct or blind guesses in those 20 odd questions. Leave those questions. You are not supposed to take chances in those 15, 20 or 25 difficult questions. These are there to confuse you. These are there to increase your pressure on your mind and in your heart, to increase your heartbeats. So it's my humble request, avoid such questions which are extremely difficult and about which you haven't read a single word during your 1 year of your preparation. That's my humble request. Okay, now let's come to the part of your food. I would recommend you not to take very spicy food or heavier meal during the exam process. Have a lighter meal, kind of South Indian food, idli, dosas or vadas, which are not very too oily and very healthier for your health, and which can give you energy as well, because those 4 hours require a huge amount of energy, because your mind works at very fast pace and you need a lot of energy. So don't go empty stomach. Have an ample amount of food, proper food. Have chocolate bars with you and eat healthy food, as well as be hydrated during those 4 hours or before that and afterwards, because if you are dehydrated, then your body won't respond in proper fashion to you, and it might cost you some health hazard or some illness during those 4 hours which you don't want, which you won't like to face. Okay, so avoid such things. Keep yourself hydrated, have a proper meal, and during that break of your paper from paper 1 to paper 2, don't stay near your exam center. Go to the proper AC restaurant or AC cafe, sit there, conserve your energy, and just before going to the exam hall, leave the place from there. Leave that particular place where you are staying or you are resting. Don't go before that. Your body needs to conserve your energy, which you will need to use it in your those 4 hours of your exam day. Okay. And last few suggestions to all of you: do not check your answers during the break. Okay, once your paper is done, just leave everything aside, go out of your exam hall and have a proper meal and just rest. Don't revise any formula, do nothing, just conserve your energy and just think positive about your upcoming paper, which is going to be more difficult than your paper 1, because you have seen many mark sheet in last couple of years or 4-5 years that there are several aspirants that clear the GS paper 1 cutoff, but they fail to qualify the minimum 67 marks criteria of CSAT. So you need to be very calm and composed during that break and conserve your energy so that you can perform well in the next paper. Okay, so it's my humble request, do not check your answers in those hours of your previous paper. Okay, you can have ample amount of time after 4:30 to do that exercise, but during those break of your paper, do not do this exercise, please. It's my humble request. Dear students, tomorrow you are going to hear so many things, so many views, so many opinions, so many analysis on your paper immediately after 11:30. By 11:45, I think many teachers or mentors will go live directly and they will start giving their verdict whether the paper was very easy, very moderate or very difficult. If somebody is saying that paper was very easier, then as a sincere aspirant, it's your duty to ask them, sir, when did you teach that particular topic to us? Where it's in our notes? Because if the content is not in your notes, then what's the use of that particular view of your teacher? Because for him that question might be easy, but if he hasn't, or if he had not taught you that particular topic in your classroom or had not given you that handout or content to read out, to revise, then what's the purpose of his or her opinion? That opinion is not going to solve your issues. Just give your paper and just come down to your own house or your room and analyze the paper on your own. In which particular question you have committed the mistake, what kind of filler mistake you have committed, and you should avoid it in your future course of action, as your future course of action. But don't take any opinion on face value. Ask the proof, ask your teacher, when did that particular teacher had taught you that current affairs or that particular polity topic, economic topic, environment topic, science and tech topic. Otherwise their words carry no meaning at all. These are mere words. Okay, so with this words I conclude my tips and my experience or insight sharing aspect, and all the best to all of you. Perform well, and you can do postmortem of your both the papers after 4:30, but it's my humble request, do not do that during the break, especially your paper one's postmortem during that break. Avoid such things. After 4:30 you are free to do any kind of postmortem of your performance, your perseverance or your papers. Okay, but do not do that exercise during that break. And again, all the best to all of you. Perform well and be positive and stay calm and composed.